Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have floppy ears on. It is a thing. This is about as close to Halloween as I'm going to get this year. So believe me, this is a lot. I'm not dressing up this year. But what I want to share with you today is I received a very lovely package. I received the ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2 palette. This is the third palette that they've released for Hocus Pocus, but it is in reference to the second movie. And I ordered the whole set. So I got they call this the body. It's a shimmery body powder, but I'm using it as a highlighter. It's basically one of their Super Shock highlighters. I got the 3 different lip glosses, which I really did not need. And I got the Jelly Much shadows, which I've never tried these before. And I have some things to say about these. But yeah, I've got 3 of those. And I got the mascara. Now, the only item that I have not used is the mascara because I just don't want to open a mascara for a review. So this one I will just use at another time. But you see, I don't live in the US, and I know ColourPop is extremely accessible in the US, but it's not outside of the US for all of us who crave to see some of their new releases. Now, I haven't ordered from ColourPop in over a year, and when this collection came out, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna buy it. I bought it on a whim. I wasn't planning to buy it. I haven't bought any of the other Hocus Pocus palettes, although I kind of regret it. I really do like the first one that they released. I didn't care for last year's, but the first one was really nice, and this one I just thought was super fun. So what I've done today is 3 looks, 1 palette. I've used everything, so I've also used the Jelly Much shadows as well, and I have tried the lip glosses. So let me just roll the videos. You can see my 3 different looks, and then let me just talk about what I think about all of these items that I've tried. A lot of positives, I have to say, but there are a few negatives. And did I need to buy the whole collection? Absolutely not. Do I regret buying it? Somewhat. I mean, there's definitely items in here that I wouldn't have bought that I really have liked. So, you know, it's kind of I don't know, a toss-up between certain items. But yeah, if you want to see the looks that I'm crazy with this palette, then obviously carry on watching. I am late to this. It was stuck in customs for a very long time. I had to pay a crazy amount to get it out of customs, and then it was still delayed, and I'm very, very upset about the whole thing. I don't think I'm ever going to order from ColourPop again, just simply because in Portugal the customs is just not ideal. It's not like the UK where I didn't actually have to pay any customs. It was extortionate. So unfortunately, that's kind of the thing. Even though they have free shipping now for international orders, it really doesn't change anything for me because I have to pay all this extra money in customs. But anyway, let's get into the video. I'll start with my first look. Hey everyone, okay, so I'm starting with Night of Sins, and I'm just going to put that in my outer V. I don't normally do the dark shades first, but I thought it would work with this look. I had some sort of a look in mind, and I wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic. For me, it's not super dramatic, but it's a really nice matte actually, and I just tried to do it a little bit narrow, if you can see that. Anyway, so next up I went into Witch Hunters, and I wanted to blend this into my crease now. And I kind of like the overall effect. I'm not the best at blending, but I did like the way that this turned out. Obviously it could look a lot better, but you know, I just do what I can. Okay, moving on, we go into Brew Another Batch. So I had put some NYX glitter glue on before I put this on because I really wanted to see the full impact of it, and I'm glad I did because I thought it was really nice. But yeah, I really like this color. It's like a, I don't know what kind of color of green it is. And then I went into Cursed. So this is a very, very lime green, and I thought it would have a little bit more impact than it does. I just didn't care for the color as well. I just don't think it went with the other green tones that I had on my lids. Okay, then I went into Candle Is a Light because I wanted more of a pop in my inner corner, and I'm glad I did because this definitely has a shift of green to it, so I thought it added the vavavoom that I wanted. Went back into Night of Sins just to put my bottom lash line to tie the look together. Blended out with Witch Hunters a little bit, you know, again, just kind of my way of doing things, not most precise. Went back into Candle is a Light for my underneath, and I tried the highlighter. This is the Body Shimmery Highlighter. It has a flecks of green, so I thought let's do it with the green look. I actually really liked the way that it looked. So yeah, I just played around with that. And then I also tried one of the lip glosses here, but I really didn't care for it, so I quickly wiped it off. And then this is the final look. I really like this look. Yes, it could do with a lot more blending, but I think overall it was really fun to wear. Okay, moving into my second look, I went into Spellbook. Basically all over my crease. I forgot to film it, so that's why I was super fast. And then I went into Doomed, which is a really beautiful orange. It's super pigmented. I actually really like this orange. And then I went into Cometh to Us, and I just wanted to add a little bit more depth to that, but I didn't want to lose that orange, so I just kept it a little bit tight in the corner there. And then I went into Marvelous, which is the orange shimmer. This was pretty. I don't think it's not like a super shock or anything, and it's not super impactful, but it was pretty enough, so I did enjoy that. I went into the black, which is called Till Midnight, because I wanted to deepen out the V just slightly. You can see I'm really doing a very small amount just to kind of shade my eye. And then I went into 29 Years because I wanted to see what that would look like. And it kind of helps blending the black in with that orange. Went back into Spellbook for my lower lash line, just to blend that out a little bit. I think this is all I put in my lower lash line, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now I went into one of the Jelly Much shadows, which is the orange one. I think it's called, I have them in front of me, I should know this. I really enjoyed this. This was very pretty. It's called Shishka Baby. Yeah, Shishka Baby. And it's not as noticeable on my lids, but it's very interesting. It has so much to it. I just wanted to show that, but still you can't see the full impact. And then I put 17th Century in my inner corner, and this is just a pure white sort of silver shade, not any other colors to it, but I really liked that because I think it tied the look together. And yeah, I kept it pretty much all orange. I really enjoyed this look. This was my favorite, I believe. You can see there's a little pink to that Jelly Much, which is really nice. Okay, moving on to Havoc. I put that into the crease. And then I went into Witch Hunters, just to deepen it up a little bit more. And I put that sort of on the lid and crease area. Then I went into Observe, which is this deep purple, and I just wanted to shade the outer V. Didn't want it to be too much, but I still wanted that pop of purple, of course. And then we went into Wicked Ways. I was listening to music, so I was getting into this. So Wicked Ways has got a lot of pink, like the base of it is really, really pink, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, it looks pretty pink in the palette, but I thought it'd be a little bit more purple, so I wanted to go in with the Jelly Much shade, which is Come to Play. And again, I'm showing you because it looks pretty interesting, and I just wanted to see what this would look like, because I really enjoyed the one that I used the other time. It does have specks of glitter in it, so you have to be careful, but it's still very beautiful. And then I wanted to try the other one, which is probably the nicest one, which is called I'm Calm. And yeah, this one was the white with the hint of green to it, and I really enjoyed this. Of course, please don't do what I do, because there are little parts of glitter in here, so I'm putting it very close to my eyes, which you probably shouldn't do. And then I went into Witch Hunters, did my underneath. But yeah, I just had fun with this look. I had fun with all three of the looks. This was quite a fun palette, and then I was just sort of tidying this up a little bit just to make it less harsh. And then that is the end result. I probably should have dragged the purple down my lower lash line, but I liked it. All right, and now you've seen all of my looks, so obviously this is the last look that I did. I'm actually going to the dentist later today, and I can't explain this look to them, but they're going to think, what on earth am I doing? Obviously, I'm not going to wear the ears, but still. Let's start with the lip products, because I didn't really look at them too much in the videos, and I've only tried 2 of them, but I will say this. Okay, so they are the So Glossy lip glosses. You get 3 of them, and you get 1 clear one. You get one that I'm wearing today, which is like a darker one. I was really hoping that this was going to be pigmented, this one. This is the Boys Will Love Me shade, and I was so hoping that it was pigmented because I thought it was such a fun color, but what it's done is it's just given a very, very, very mild purple blackness to my lips, and I don't think it works. Unfortunately, it's also super, super dry. So yes, they're glossy, but the formula is really dry. Like, I had to layer it on over and over and over again. I really didn't like it. And that's kind of the story of the other one that I tried as well. So for my first look, I tried this one, Sisters Behold, and this is the clear one. And I tried it first on my lips on its own, just like very, very glittery, nothing special. I did pop it over my lipstick afterwards, but not too much, to be honest. I don't really care for this formula. So out of this box, I actually wish that I hadn't received these. This is the only one that I haven't tried. This is the We're Young one. This one might be a little bit more usable for me. I might like it more, but I haven't tried this one. I just don't care for the formula. I find it very, very thin. And, you know, it's not goopy like their other lip glosses, but it's also very, very thin, and it's hard to, you need to put a lot on your lips for it to actually go everywhere. It doesn't really move around, which is fine. I guess that's not a bad thing, but there's just no pigment. I really wish that they had more pigment to these. Obviously the clear one's not going to, but it has a hint of the green, which kind of carries through like the rest of sort of these white shades that have that hint of green. I really love that, and I have a little bit on there today, but I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, these lip glosses I think were the worst thing in the box, unfortunately. I'm stuck with them. I didn't need them, but I have 3 of them. So, you know, bad things out of the way. Let's move on to the good stuff. So let's talk about this. This is okay. So this is their shimmery body powder, but I'm just going to use it as a highlighter. I've used it a couple times. I actually have it on today, but I did sort of sheer it out a little bit. So it is white, but it has this beautiful glimmer of mint green. It's really, really stunning, and you could use this as a beautiful inner corner. It's not something I'm going to be wearing every single day, but I think as a winter shade, it actually is really nice when you're doing a cool tone look and if you've got some green and you do a little bit of this on your cheeks. I actually think it will look really nice. So I don't hate this. I think it's fine and it's fun to have. So that one I'm pleased about. Okay, next up we have the Jelly Much shadows. And honestly, I feel like these are the star of the whole collection. I think these outshine the shimmers in the palette, if I had to say so myself. So we get 3 of them. Obviously there's 3 sisters, it kind of makes sense. So you've got I Am Calm, Come to Play, and Shika Baby. And I'm wearing 2 of them today. So I'm wearing the Come to Play, which is the purple one. I have to say, I think this one out of the 3 is the one that has the least impact when I put it on my lids. When I put it on my finger, it's really beautiful. You can see all the different multi-dimensional sort of colors. They all have a little bit of glitter in them, so ideally you probably don't want to put them directly on the eyelid like I have done, but I have, so I don't mind doing that, but maybe just don't copy what I've done, or just do it at your own risk. But yeah, I think this one is probably my least favorite. It's the first time I've used a Jelly Much shade from ColourPop, or in general at all, and I actually really kind of like it. I didn't think I would. So this one is the green one, which is the white with that hint of green, and I put it on my lids here. It kind of skipped a little bit, so it's not like the greatest quality of how I've done it, but I think it is so stunning, and it added such an extra like look to this, like extra dimensional sort of, I don't know, va-va-voom to this look. I really liked it. I think it enhanced it. You know, in my opinion, I think it enhanced it. So I think this was amazing. You actually do get the shade in the eyeshadow palette, which I'll talk about in a moment, but I think this outshines the shade in the eyeshadow palette for sure. And then you've got this one, which when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. This is the only one that came to me kind of a mess. It was all over the place. These two, the shipping, you know, didn't disturb them too much, but this one was like all over the place when I opened it up. But it is so amazing. It's like a bronzy orange. It's got pink, it's got gold. It is very, very exciting. When I look at this and I put it on my finger, I was like, wow, this is exciting. And when I put it on my second look, I really, really loved it. I actually loved my second look. I didn't think I would because I don't normally like oranges, but this is fantastic. So I actually like all three of these, love all three of these. I think they are great. I do think the purple one is a little bit less interesting than the other two, but I still think they are very, very good and fun because I've never used them before. All right, moving on to the eyeshadow palette. So first of all, I think it's really nice. I really love the pop of the lime green, and that kind of obviously carries through the whole palette and all of the products that you get. So this shade right here is this white with that flip of green that it carries through the whole collection. But as I said, I think the Jelly Mutt shade is actually nicer than this. So I don't know. I used this one today. This is not very super impactful. I would say this is more of a satin shade than it is a shimmer. It has a lot of purple pigment, a lot of pink to it, but the shimmer aspect is not that great. So I definitely needed to put the purple Jelly Mutt shade to just enhance the shimmer on my lids, I felt. So actually, I don't think this is the greatest shade in the palette. I really enjoyed the green look that I did the first look. I thought that was really fun. I enjoyed all these other shimmers. I just don't think they're like super impactful. So if you just get the palette and you don't get the Jelly Mutt shades, it's a little bit dull. Like the shimmers aren't, they're just one-dimensional, which is fine, and some of them lean a little bit more satin than others. If you get the Jelly Mutt, that definitely adds some va-va-voom to the look. I just feel like it just enhances it, you know, by 1,000. The mattes are really nice. I really like them. They have quite a bit of kick up, but I really, really enjoyed them. I didn't have too much fallout. I think maybe the second look or maybe the first look I had a bit of fallout. I think I used all of the shades, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I used all of the shades, which is kind of crazy, in 3 different looks. So obviously I went for my oranges, I went for my greens, and I went for my purples. And I used every single shade, which is crazy. Wow, I didn't even know I did that. I really like this palette. Now I have to say, even though I said if you just get this, you might be a little disappointed, I have to say, I love that it's so versatile. I've got 3 completely different looks. I think it's fun. Obviously you get the pops of color, but you can do neutral looks and green looks and purple looks, and those are considered very neutral for the you know, color lovers out there. You know, I know a lot of people who consider blue looks or purple looks as a neutral look or everyday look for themselves. So you can do a lot with this palette, to be honest. I really enjoy it. I think that the way they've laid it out is really cohesive as well. It didn't confuse me. I think if they had laid it out differently, then I probably would hate it because I would not know what to do, but it is very easy to know what look you want to do. I will say that this shade right here, I was disappointed in. I used this in my first look. It's a real lime green, and it has sparkles to it. So I don't know if it's one of those sequin shades. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I don't think it added anything to my look, and I wasn't sure what it was for, because it doesn't really go with these 2 greens. It definitely stood out, but not in a good way. So that's the only one that I really didn't enjoy working with, and that was in my first look, but everything else has been really beautiful, and I really, really, really love this palette, and I love this collection. I'm really happy that I got it because, you know, I skip out on a lot of their limited edition items just simply because of the fact that it's not easy for me to get them. And I missed out on the first palette, missed out on the second palette. I'm not a huge lover of Hocus Pocus. Of course, I like the movie. It is nostalgic to me. I've seen the second movie. I enjoyed some parts of it. I enjoyed it for the most part. It was fun to watch. Is it my favorite movie? Absolutely not. It will never be my favorite movie, but Halloween isn't my favorite time of the year either, so I don't have that sort of affinity to it that a lot of people have. However, I do like it. I really like the aesthetic of it. I like that I have this. I like that, you know, it's going to be like a collector's item anyway. I wish I had the first one because the first one is very beautiful, neutral, and like you've got that mauve colors, but this one is fun. So actually, I think this one's maybe a little bit more fun. I don't know. But anyway, that is my sort of review and first impressions of this whole collection. Yeah, I liked all of the looks. I think the orange one is my favorite, but to be honest, all three of them I really, really enjoyed. And I really am excited to have this palette because I do see myself using it throughout the year, not just this time of the year. So that is good. Only real duds, as I said, are the lip items. I really, really, really did not care for these. And I haven't tried the mascara, so that's the only one where I wish that instead of a mascara, why didn't they put some gel liners in? I know a lot of people don't like the ColourPop gel liners, or they have so many of them, so maybe that's why they didn't add in. However, I think a lime, like a real lime green gel liner would have worked really nicely. With the theme, you've got the lime green throughout, and I think a pop of lime green in any of these looks would have been really cool. So I wish that they had done that instead of a mascara, but otherwise I thought it was a really good collection, and it's the first like full collection I've ever bought from ColourPop, so you know, I don't know what I'm doing. And obviously I've got the ears which are like falling out because I don't know how to put them on. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you all next time. I have to go to the dentist now and explain why I look like I do. But anyway, bye.